Hello, hello, hello. We're back. We're back. Okay, so first up is what Sheriff Jones has to inform the public. Let's get into that. Hard Talk Radio live in 4K. All right, here we go.
They'll be waiting for the conversation, and this is just the beginning. And again, I've instructed.
Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. Let's go.
How's everybody doing today?
Morning, Sheriff.
Okay, we're going to shut the doors. We'll start it out with, my name is Rick Jones. I'm the Butler County Sheriff, Butler County, Ohio. I just came back from a national sheriff's training in D.C. 3 days ago, 2 days ago. We were briefed by the FBI director, Ray, the director of the FBI, and several federal agencies. There's 3,300 sheriffs in the United States. The President of the United States refuses to meet with the sheriffs of the 3,300. We have a hierarchy. We have a president. We have a vice president. President of the United States refuses to meet with the sheriffs. He also refuses to meet with the police chiefs of the United States. They have a hierarchy also. He refuses to meet with them to talk about border issues or talk about crime that's going on because of the border issue. We were also told by Mr. Ray, the FBI director, that there are more red flags going off now than before 9/11. Okay? When I say red flags, meaning people that are here in this country that are wanting to do harm to us. We were also explained we're bombing 2 countries right now. 2 countries. These people do not like us before this started. There's thousands of people here from other countries, 160 different countries. They're here not to be our friends. Some of them are coming because they're wanting to come here to the best country in the world, the way we see it. Some are coming here to do harm to us. And we were told by the FBI director, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. We were also told 5 sheriffs went to Israel 5 weeks after the attack. The only thing that saved the Israelis, the government, was the local police. They were outgunned, outmanned. They came over. The Palestinians did. They came over. They killed, raped. The sheriffs were there. They talked to the police. The local police are what saved that country. You can't just call, even in Israel, you can't just call the military up and they're going to be there, okay? They went house to house, raping, killing. The Israeli police, when our guys got there, the sheriffs, said they just don't hate us. They hate you guys equally. And the same people that train them are the same people that train people to hate us. The FBI director said when 9/11 hit, there's more red flags now than then. So, and he said, these are people that want to kill us and do harm to us. Now, so you're wondering, I want everybody to know what I know. I can't tell you everything, but I want the public to know that we are in a terrible way right now. The United States, and I'm going to get to the local, the United States, we're on the defense. You can't be just defense and not have an offense. We have no offense. We're just defense. We're absorbing these attacks. We're in other countries. We're supplying them with weapons. We're supplying them with our treasure, our money, and we're not doing much back home. So, with that in mind, we were also told that this is from the federal government 3 days ago, they're going to attack our elections, which they've always done that, just not the national. They're going to go into the locals. They encouraged us to talk to our local election officials and be prepared as much as they can for cyber attacks. Even locally, you have to be prepared. We've been told that, again, they're coming here to do harm to us, and even in Ohio or in the United States, we're not going to be able to call and ask for help from the federal government. They're going to be busy. The military's not coming, the National Guard. When 9/11 hit, it was all the police and the fire, and they were in total organized chaos. The military had the skies. And I don't want somebody asked me, am I like Doomsday Jones? And I said, no. I'm not like Chicken Little. I want you to know what I know. And if you don't believe what I'm telling you, that's okay. You can do what the Israeli citizens done. You can build a little safe house in your basement. And good luck. Now, getting to where we've been attacked here in Butler County. You're going to think, well, we've never been attacked. We have. The Russians attacked our system, our electronic system, our computer system. They hacked it. They also are trying to hack, just not ours. And we were down for 2 months, just a paper. Hacked our dispatching, hacked everything. Now, was that to help us? No, it wasn't to help us. It was to hurt us and cause chaos. As we speak today, the Russians are still attacking our computer system, just like they're attacking most of yours. But I want the public to know this. The Chinese tried to attack our cyber system here in Butler County, which includes everything that we have, dispatching for police and fire, 5 times a day. I want to repeat that. 5 times a day. The Iranians are attacking our computer system and trying to hack it 3 times a day. I want to repeat that. 3 times a day. Now, are they doing that to help us and be our friends? No, they're not. They're trying to disrupt everything that we do. And this next election coming up, they're trying to do the same. So what we're doing here is we've got rifles in every police vehicle we have. We have what we call a go bag. We have extra magazines. And we're going to start training civilians. We've offered classes to train civilians, and we're going to start training civilians on what to do when disasters hit and emergencies hit. Naturally, we can't train the whole country. We can't train the whole county. We put this up online yesterday. It's full already. We can do like 30 people at a time. We're trying to get it, and the organization that is doing that is Texas A&M. They're coming here. The federal government's paying for it. They're going to train 30 civilians on what to do when disasters hit. 30 out of 400,000 people is not much. So we're trying to get more classes. Don't want to cause fear, don't want to cause panic, but I want the public to be aware that you are under attack. And when they're attacking, they're trying to get our cyber system. We have a grid system. Butler County does, the whole United States. Hell, our grid system goes out when it gets hot. So, and our grid system is from the 1960s. And they're trying to attack our phone system. The Chinese are flying over with their little balloons. That's not to help us and help us do some weather direction. And all we're doing is we're on the defense. We're absorbing this. And these other countries that are attacking us overseas, it's a lot of drone attacks. Getting to drones. You know the technology that local law enforcement has on drones? 0. We can fly drones, and most police departments and sheriff's offices have drones bird in the sky. We can't make the drones stop. We can't stop them. When you see football games on TV, the national football games, they call timeout to stop the drones. Hell, my grandkids have drones. Everybody has drones. We have no technology. The federal government doesn't share any of the drone technology with us. So what we're going to do is we're reaching out to the private industry, and we're going to see if we can get anything that can detect. Again, it's not to scare people. This is the truth. Everybody in this room, the news media, you guys get hacked. They try to hack you. One of the local channels.
And this is basically what's we are facing. All right. People will say this is conspiracy. I think we have to grow up from that saying conspiracy theory because it's now conspiracy facts. Okay. And you have people like Mark Zuckerberg. You have people like Jeff Bezos. All these people having bunkers. All right. All these billionaires, they have bunkers now. All right. Investing millions into that. They know something's about to go down. Got all these entertainers. They're investing in bunkers. All right. So I think it's time for people to start opening their eyes about what's going down. Food prices are up. They want us to eat food mixed with bugs. Okay. You have entertainers promoting that, like Robert Downey Jr., Steve Colbert, Nicole Kidman, Salma Hayek. All right. There's a lot coming down the tailpipe. Okay. That the World Economic Forum is planning for us to do. I already did a live stream about how Tyson Foods is doing a business venture with an insect company and to have insects in our food. All right. Unfortunately, some of you think are not fazed by that, but that's okay. When it's in your face, then you'll be thinking. When you think about the migrants, some of you even think that it's okay to have the migrants over here, feeling sorry for them. They're coming over here illegally and they're taking over Chicago. But when they take over your neighborhood, then you want to cry. I think that's a lot of your mindsets, especially those who are extremely liberal on the far left. That's your mindset. But let's continue now. Let's talk about these migrants in Denver, Colorado now. Okay. Here we are. This is a person reporting on what's going on with the migrants in Denver, Colorado, and from Venezuela, the migrants from Venezuela, and what they're doing in Denver, Colorado.
This is the current situation in Denver, Colorado. In Colorado, they've taken in over 40,000 migrants. They have spent close to $57 million housing them, feeding them, clothing them, providing all the necessities for them, and they can no longer do it. Mayor Johnson has said, "We are in a migrant mess. We need funding. We cannot keep taking care of them." He is cutting $4.7 million from his park and recreation fund and from the DMV. He's also asking the residents of Denver to house. If you have an empty room, can you house these migrants? Imagine that, asking people there to open up their doors and let them come live with them, because Denver cannot take care of them. I went to the city of Denver. I saw this crisis. There are thousands of migrants. It's very sad. But when I got back, people started messaging me and they said, "Hey, if you want to see what's really going on in Denver," he said, "go to the Home Depot." He gave me this address of this Home Depot, and he said Venezuelan men are prostituting out their wives for $20 an hour. That is how desperate they are. They need money, they can't work, and they're basically just hanging out, and now they're going to be hanging out on the streets because they're going to be homeless. Before they were put into hotels and shelters, they were out on the streets. There were migrant tent cities.
I don't think that's their wives. That's what I think. You got to be one callous, sick person to prostitute your wife on the streets, your own wife. I don't care if it's bad out there. Okay? No one told you to have this great idea to go to America and you have no job set up for you. You're not willing to do this legally, but you want to come to America and you're the husband. No. For that alone, a man should go to jail for pimping out his wife. Period. Jail.
But you know, Denver is freezing cold, so the mayor put them in hotels. It's warming up, so he's sending them out on the streets. So I fear for the citizens of Denver and for the Colorado. I don't know what's going to happen. It's
insane. It is insane what's going on. All right. But let's talk about the migrants protesting and what they want. All right. In Seattle. One second. Yep, here we are. Fair use.
Demonstrators demanded action from Seattle City Council and interrupted Tuesday's meeting. This ended with 6 arrests for criminal trespass. Asylum seekers and their advocates showed up, calling on the city to provide more money for housing in other King County cities. At one point, City Council asked security to clear the room.
Our physical safety is being threatened by the actions of the demonstrators outside banging on the windows, which could easily get broken, and we will have a mob scene.
No action was taken at the Seattle City level, but there is new funding of that updated Tukwila.
Yeah, it gets worse. It gets worse. How many of you are struggling? How many of you know people who are struggling to buy a house in America right now in this economy? Well, guess what? There are going to be people who are going to be beating you to the punch, and guess who? What type of people are going to be beating you to the punch to buy a home? Let's play this beautiful bean footage, shall we?
Sacramento could make it easier for undocumented immigrants to purchase a home in California. It's called AB 1840.
AB 1840 adds specific wording to the California Dream for All program, which is the state's down payment assistance program. The wording would make undocumented immigrants able to apply for this money. I spoke with the author of the bill and the local politician against it.
We said it was a dream for all, that's what we meant.
Assemblyman Dr. Joaquin Arambula from Fresno is the author of AB 1840. The bill says that applicants of the state's Dream for All program should not be disqualified based on their immigration status. The Dream for All program is a down payment assistance program for low to moderate income aspiring homeowners. Those selected get a 20% down payment if the homeowner sells it.
For many people who have been here for years, if not decades, because we have a broken immigration system, who have been paying taxes and doing their hard work as well of building up a credit score, that we need to figure out how to open doors for all people to realize that dream of home ownership.
We shouldn't move people to the front of the line that haven't paid their dues.
El Cajon Mayor Bill Wells, who's also running, he says the money for the U.S. citizens and veterans assistance programs.
They should be first in line to buy homes. And
I agree, because they sacrifice for this country, especially they have PTSD. Some of them are crippled. No, they should get a home first, not these migrants. You have homeless people who have done the right thing, been to college, done all that, and they can't find a job in this economy, and they're homeless. They have families. Why are you giving, migrants who just illegally cross the border homes and not fixing Americans first, fixing the problems of America first? Some of these migrants are even being sworn in as police officers. Illegal migrants are now going to be having a badge. The ones that you have to call when you have a problem. When 911 is called, you have to have in your mind that a migrant is going to want dispatch to come to your home, doesn't know the laws, and may probably just try to kill you and take your home. If they're not trained properly, or the fact that they haven't been properly vetted before they come to this country, they probably could have gang ties, and that's a whole lot of problems. Okay, because we already have criminal gangs within law enforcement, especially in California, with the executioners, the jump out boys, the wayside whiteys, the banditos. You could look it up. It's just getting from bad to worse.
the work for this country, and in fact, some that come from countries that our young men and women were actually fighting against.
Assemblyman Arambula says the money in the Dream for All program should be available to everyone who qualifies, which means they have to have a social security number or an I-10 number. He says that there are already
bonds that
despicable, absolutely despicable. But here's some breaking news at the Texas border now.
Les dije, podemos ingresar por el puente o podemos ingresar ilegalmente.
Texas border crisis illegals get instructions how to breach the U.S. border.
Les dije, podemos ingresar por el puente o podemos ingresar ilegalmente. Todos. Pero eso sí, hay dos maneras de pedir a los Estados Unidos asilo político. La primera es pedir asilo en un puerto de entrada a los Estados Unidos. Es por la frontera, con el número. Eso puede tardar 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 o 6 meses para ser llamado. Y segunda, es presentar una solicitud de asilo una vez que usted escuche, y la segunda es una vez que usted está físicamente en los Estados Unidos, sin importar si usted entró a los Estados Unidos con permiso o ilegal. Tratemos de escuchar lo que el diputado del Parlamento Europeo trae. Si ellos traen una noticia buena para nosotros, en la que no tengamos que salir para allá, aceptémosla, señora. Si no traen una noticia buena, pues tomemos la decisión de salir. Ahora les voy a decir una cosa.
Wild. Insane. Absolutely insane. But I will say this, though. I believe this is by design. Okay, I believe the Democrats create the problem and the Republicans present the solution. Okay. Let's see what since about Kathy Hochul deploying the National Guard. Here we go. Like I said.
We're following a developing story. Big changes coming to the subway system to protect riders from crime and violence. A little more than an hour ago, New York Governor Kathy Hochul announced her 5-point plan.
Hochul not sugarcoating any of this, putting statistics aside, she acknowledged the psychological impact all of this has on folks. This 5-point plan, this new plan, it really is a multi-layered approach to driving down violent crime in the subway. So let's get to it. First, you will once again see bag checks. 750 members of the Army National Guard, along with 250 New York State and MTA police will lead that effort. Also on the table, a bold move. The governor wants judges to be able to ban someone from the subway or buses who has previously been convicted of a violent crime against another. Point 3 touches on something Mayor Eric Adams today highlighted as a major problem he calls a crisis, that of repeat offenders. He pointed out 38 people arrested last year for assaulting 60 transit workers in the city. And so the governor wants to strengthen ties between police and the DA's office. Her next concern comes on the heels of that brutal attack on a subway conductor who was slashed in the neck. The governor now wants cameras installed in each and every conductor cabin in the system. This is a big picture plan that relies on coordination between local, state, and national agencies.
Anyone looking to do harm. Anyone looking to do harm or spread fear on our subways, you will be caught. Plain and simple. There will be consequences. This has to end. New Yorkers deserve no less. And to those who are feeling anxious whenever they walk through those turnstiles, we will stop at nothing to keep you safe, you and your family members.
Okay. All right. So I'm just going to have to cut this a little short because, people, are, I don't know if you noticed, but internet is becoming a little bit slow whether it's your cell phone or whether it's your your PC, your internet at home, you're noticing there's some problems with it. Like I said, a lot of us are not prepared about what's to go down. These cyber attacks, these outages, it's real. So let's talk about about how there's this new bill for anti-Semitism hate speech by Dakota Governor Kristi Noem. Let's get into that. And basically, we know the game with that. Basically, don't you dare say anything bad about Israel. Don't you say anything bad. If they're guilty, so what? That's anti-Semitism. Let's get into this story right now.
I know in South Dakota you've got a bill, I think it's a new bill combating anti-Semitism or reaffirming old bills. Could you just tell us a little bit about that because it's such an important issue?
Well, this is a bill that defines what anti-Semitism is, and it has examples that we put in statute that will be used as model legislation in every other state to make sure we're defining what a hate crime is and that we can prosecute those who engage in it. It really is the strongest language in this country to push back on some of what we've seen for hatred being spread across this country since the October 7th attacks. So I was devastated to see some folks in this country be uneducated and some maybe purposefully stand with pro-Hamas and attack our allies Israel and our brothers and sisters in the Jewish community. So this bill we signed into law today in the rotunda of our Capitol. We had hundreds and hundreds of people there. It was amazing to see the unity and the support. We have one of the smallest Jewish communities in the entire country, but we dearly love them and stand with our allies and are proud to sign this bill that I believe many, many, many other states are going to use because it gives them strong language that we can win in court and prosecute those who engage in hate crimes.
So it's a hate crime to actually point out what the Israeli army is doing. Okay. It's a hate crime to point out the evils of that are done under Israeli President Benjamin Netanyahu. Because that's the go-to with the when you speak out against the crimes of what's going on. Okay. I mean, never mind that the Israeli government is dividing up Palestinian land and selling it illegally on the international real estate market, and the land is being sold in synagogues in New York, in Canada, and in Teaneck, New Jersey. But if you report on that, possibly that could be a hate crime. And no, I am not I am not anti-Semitic. I have friends who are Jewish, and they're also, and not every Jew is down with the way Benjamin Netanyahu is handling things. All right. All right. Governor Kristi Noem signs unconstitutional hate crime bill to stomp out criticism of Israel. That's basically what it is. How you criticize them, you're anti-Semitic. That's basically what they want to do. Stomp out any criticism, logical, constructive criticism. Okay, like the criticism about how, in fact, you got a tunnel under a synagogue, a Chabad synagogue, and now you have mattresses coming out with soiled mattresses and a baby stroller in those tunnels. To even question that would be anti-Semitic. To even bring up the fact that the Israeli government created Hamas. Now you're being anti-Semitic. South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem on Thursday boasted that she signed an unconstitutional hate crime bill to stop out criticism of Israel and to ensure the security of God's chosen people. All right. InfoWars reports Noam said in a press release after signing the bill that South Dakota is giving Jews additional special privileges under the anti-discrimination law because they are God's chosen people. It sounds like a cult response. All right. They're God's chosen people. They're God's chosen people. But, you know, I'm not trying to be preachy, but if you look into the Old Testament, you see what type of stuff that God's chosen people did. That was not good. If you look into the how this feud started between Israel and the Palestinians, you will see throughout in history, you know, that the Israelis, the Zionists, actually didn't want to share the land with the Palestinians and wanted to force them off the land. And when the British tried to have peace between the two and to have them to share the land, the Zionists developed a terrorist organization to start planning bomb attacks, killing British soldiers. All right. And the British just basically got fed up and left. All right. And basically Israel did what Israel wanted to do. The Zionists, that is. Let's see her talk about this combating anti-Semitism.
Could I have your attention? Could you please take a seat? We're going to get started here very shortly.
Here to honor such a special occasion where we sign a bill that will define anti-Semitism and how we can continue to make sure that we're standing against acts of hatred and standing in solidarity with our Israeli community and the Jewish people. We are going to have a few speakers to share with us some history, some culture, some reasons that we need to have this type of legislation, not just here in South Dakota, but across the country. And I'm just so honored by all the special guests that have traveled to be with us today. We have had guests travel all across the United States of America and from overseas to be here, to be a part of this ceremony and this bill signing. And for me personally, it is very, very touching. I've got friends here I have known from Israel that I have known for over a decade, that I've worked on policy with when I was a state legislature, when I was in Congress, and now as governor. To sign a bill like this into law that will be an example to the nation is a very powerful thing for South Dakota to do. So I would like to open the ceremony first by asking our rabbi, who was our very first rabbi that the state of South Dakota was gifted with, Rabbi Mendel Alperwitz, to come on up and to greet all of you and share with you some thoughts and some words and wisdom. If you would welcome him, please, that would be wonderful.
You know what I thought about? I thought about the fact when Trump wants to come to black people, and when he comes to the Black Conservative Conference, he just makes a bunch of jokes, makes black conservatives laugh. But when it comes to the Jews, he makes sure there's laws for them, that no one could dare talk bad about them, zero tolerance for hate crimes. But he can't do that for blacks. Okay? He can't get Governor Noam to make a hate crime bill for blacks. He can't do that. He can't devise a plan for reparations when he comes back into office. He can't do that at all. All right? That's what I've noticed. Billions upon billions of dollars is given to Israel every year. Israel could take in rapists, pedophiles. I mean, heck, I mean, if a rabbi molests a kid, the rabbi doesn't get punished. He just goes to another synagogue. That's how it is in Israel. And you think the LGBT is bad here? Wait until you go to Tel Aviv. It just shows you what's going on in this country and how this country will live in a racist society where everyone is not treated as a human being. Okay? And this is the country that we live in, and you have people, black puppets, especially on the Republican side, that will say this America is not a racist nation. Licking the boot of white supremacy. White supremacy that owns the Republican Party, run by white Jews. The same white Jews in Israel that disrespect black Jews. Okay? And the same hatred for blacks is with the Palestinians. Because they're Arab and because of their religion, Islam. They do not like blacks either. They sell blacks in the Middle East. Call them abid or abid, which means slave. So black people don't support either side because you don't have a dog in this fight at all. You do not have one. Not even going to listen to the rest of this. Just not. So we're going to talk also about the 5 children that were crushed to death in the Gaza Strip.
Gaza, the Hamas-run health ministry tonight saying 5 children were killed by a pallet of desperately needed aid that had been dropped from an airplane. The parachute did not open. Authorities say it crushed the children. Tonight, the Pentagon aware of the reports, but also adding it was not U.S.-delivered aid. Tom Sufi Burridge in the region tonight.
This is the moment humanitarian aid dropped from the sky over Gaza and turned deadly. Pallets raining down. That parachute appearing to fail, plunging to the ground. Chaos as desperate Palestinians run to scoop up aid. What you don't see, 5 children crushed to death by a pallet, according to the Hamas-run health ministry. Tonight, the Pentagon saying it wasn't a U.S. airdrop that caused the casualties.
We've confirmed that all of our aid bundles landed safely on the ground.
With the UN saying more than 500,000 Gazans are facing starvation, President Biden caught on this hot mic moment after the State of the Union, speaking about Prime Minister Netanyahu.
I told
The president quickly interrupted by an aide, today saying Netanyahu needs to do more to get aid in. And tonight, a coalition of countries backing President Biden's plan for the U.S. military to build a temporary pier off Gaza's coast to allow aid in by sea. President Biden saying the Israelis will provide security, promising there will be no U.S. boots on the ground in Gaza. And just days before the start of the holy month of Ramadan, with no deal on a ceasefire, Hamas tonight calling on worshippers to march on Jerusalem's Al-Aqsa Mosque. Tensions flaring ahead of Friday prayers.
Well, you can see there's real tension here. Young men are not allowed into the Al-Aqsa Mosque up there. The police are moving them away.
Then peaceful prayers outside the walls, amid fears for what the future may hold.
And David, just moments ago, President Biden addressing a possible ceasefire before Ramadan, saying it's looking tough. And on that mission to build a pier off Gaza, the Pentagon saying Hamas should not target that aid operation.
5 people, including 2 children, were killed and at least 10 others were injured when they were hit by a cloud of aid parachuted into Gaza as part of humanitarian airdrop. The U.S. and Jordan are among the countries carrying out airdrops in the northern Gaza, where hundreds of thousands of people are facing dire conditions after more than the 5 months of war. Footage shows the moment the aerial drop of supplies of people for people in the Al-Shati refugee camp in Gaza went wrong. Several videos captured the moment parachutes carrying heavy loads failed to properly deploy and packages were sent raining down on people. Let's watch this. All right. So you're telling me they couldn't check properly to see if they couldn't check to make sure those parachutes were correctly fixed so they wouldn't have this incident? U.S. military drops meals over Gaza last week and promised to airdrop more supplies in the future. All right. U.S. military planes dropped more than 38,000 meals and pallets over Gaza on Saturday. The airdrop is expected to be the first of many. All right, that's all I got for now. Hope you were educated on the information that I've given you. That's about it. Later. If anything you want to know about this channel, it's in the description box. If you feel like donating to the Cash App, feel free to donate. I'm on Spotify, All Talk Radio Live in 4K. I'm on BitchFood, Radical Thoughts 791, and Rumble, Radical Thoughts 791. All right, later.